in case you missed it, today is November 25th, and the fiscal clock is ticking down to the end of 2014. That only means you only have a few weeks left to make charitable donations that could end up big tax saving. And here to help you reduce your tax burden is the chairman and CEO of Next Financial Holdings Incorporated. And that company handles over $15 billion in assets. So please welcome back to the 700 Club, Gordon DeAngelo. Gordon, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Pat.
Thank you. All right, what burdens? The Obama administration has been loading a bunch of taxes on us. What burdens do we have this year that we perhaps didn't have before?
Well, there's really been no extra great tax savings gifts. However, and most of the tax brackets have risen over last year.
Yeah.
However, one great thing is that charitable giving still plays a big impact on tax savings.
All right. Is the 50% rule still in effect?
It is still in effect, and we're hoping to ease that up in the future, but there are still carryovers,
yeah.
So you still can get blessed by that.
Okay. Well, now, we've got a few weeks left to go. What do you advise people to do? What's the key thing that they should keep
Well, you know, I have to say this. It's in my heart that giving is a tell. The T stands for it's a testimony to loving God. E, it's an encouragement to others. And the L part has a long impact. You don't even know who you're going to affect by giving. Now, when we look at the mathematics of it, you know, people say, oh, you have to itemize your deductions to take, you know, your tax deduction. But, you know, what about the person that doesn't itemize? Why are they giving? They're giving from their heart. But if you're able to itemize, giving is a guarantee. You get money back no matter what. If you're in the lowest tax bracket, you get instant savings, usually 20%. But if you're in a higher bracket, up to 45% of what you give, you immediately get back. That includes your federal tax and your state tax.
Well, that's a big deal. All right, well, now, talk to us about appreciated assets. I mean, what about stock? Because the stock market has gone up right substantially this year.
We're at record all-time highs, and this is the time to give, whether you have a stock, public company, private stock, or you have a mutual fund a lot of people don't understand. Whether you give 100 shares or one share, it's immediately tax deductible. And you don't have to pay tax. Let's say your shares went up from $50 to $100. You do not have to pay tax on your appreciation, but you get the full deduction of the $100. Now, people say, well, how do I give stock? How do I give to charity? You can just write a note. I want to give 100 shares to charity. People have mutual funds, and they didn't know they can give mutual funds because they don't want to give it all away.
Yeah.
Give one share away. How do I give a share away? Say, please move one share of my fund to your charity of your choice to their account, and it's immediately deductible. One share. We all should do our share. Yeah. So you can give one or more, and it's an immediate tax deduction.
Well, what other strategies do you advise people to take advantage of at the end of the year?
Well, I think from, you know, finishing on the charity part, I mean, you can give property, you can give an old car, you can give furniture, clothing, pretty much anything you'd want to give, you can give, and you get to write it off. Some people say, well, I don't have anything to give right now, and I want to give. You can go out and borrow money from your credit card, get the deduction now, and don't have to pay until next year. A lot of people make a mistake with their 401ks or retirement plans. They haven't put in the full amount, and those amounts have risen to 17.5 and up to 23.5. These are huge amounts, and so if they're behind where your money's coming out weekly or per payroll, you can go to the HR department and say, no, I want to catch up before year's end. And you can do the same thing with your IRA, which has risen now to $5,500 per person, or $6,500 if you're over 50. And if you happen to be in business where you have your own type of retirement plan, you have a little bit longer, but now's the time to because you don't know what your profit's going to be, but now's the time to think, I can put more money in there.
Well, there was a provision where people could give up to $100,000, I believe, from a 401 or an IRA to a charity. Have they taken that provision away now? Is that still available?
It's not quite away yet. They're trying to get it away, and there are some, and we think there's going to be some favorable changes as well. And there are other things that are related to that, like there's people who, for example, have annuities who need that annuity to live off. That's why they did it, for subsidiary income the rest of their life. They can start a charitable remainder trust, collect all the income of that, and it's just that the proceeds later on would go to the charity. They get the deduction now. That's just the simple explanation. And there's other things you can do with life insurance policies where your life is not hindered at all financially. However, later the benefits would go to charity, but in the meantime, your life is uplifted because you can get the deduction now.
Are they deducting the cash surrender value, or they hold the face value? What do they deduct?
There's choices how you set up the charitable remainder trust.
Okay.
And a lot of those choices would depend on the person's life. But the bottom line, Pat, is they can give to charity without affecting the cash flow of their life, and in fact increasing it in the sense that they're going to get a tax deduction where they'll receive the benefits of it immediately.
I think charitable remainder trusts are one of the most delightful ways of giving. You give, you control the money yourself, and you get an immediate tax deduction, don't you? It's really nice.
And again, I know they can call up. You guys are fantastic at that. They should call, just ask whatever questions that they have, or hey, how do I give one share or transfer a share? Just a fantastic thing.
Well, Gordon, thank you so much for being with us. And ladies and gentlemen, the telephone number to call is 1-800-759-0700, or you can also log on to cbn.com, or you can email our planned giving at cbn.org. And so, I mean, now's the chance to do something, and you can get very creative. And as Gordon was pointed out, you know, there are a lot of ways of doing it, and people are being blessed. It's a double blessing. So thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you coming by.